Welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and then I yap off into the void. Well met. Today we're gonna be talking non-stop about Ellen. No, I wish, but no. What we're gonna be talking about is instead Wise and Belle, or rather the 1.6 story. So this is gonna be like a full spoiler discussion. So if you haven't done the 1.6 story yet, I would advise you to step up because it is good, and I don't want to be responsible for spoiling anybody of you. But in this coffee time, I kind of wanna talk about what I think that they're doing and where I think that the story is heading, and maybe what's coming to the game potentially for the anniversary, or at least the 2.0. So I finished the story yesterday, and I gotta say I'm amazed by how well structured it was. It was long. They could have maybe trimmed a little bit of fat, but overall I think it was really good. I also liked that all the things that happened in this patch kind of ties into the same story. The zombie story was relevant, and even the little event with Pulchra actually felt worthwhile, even though it wasn't animated cutscenes and etc. We did get to see actual lore, how Pulchra got to join the gang and how she's doing with the gang and etc. And I actually thought that this was really sweet. But first and foremost, they are doing something with our main characters. They have big plans for Wise and Belle, and we got to see the beginning of this shift from having them just be this video shopkeepers to actually being something really interesting in the end of the 1.4, where we can see their eyes glow up, and I think they survive an explosion from Bringer, and that's the first hint we get that there's more than meets die with these two. And the main story kind of kicks off with them having their eyes fixed, and we get a reason for why they have such a bad ether, ether aptitude, ether resistance. They basically cannot be in hollows because they are extra susceptible to them. And it has apparently something to do with their eyes, and it's tied to their professor. So the mayor contacts them and kind of fixes their eyes, which allows us to be in hollows. Which just that little part, I was okay, this opens up so much more potential for them in the story. It's they're doing that for a reason. And then I got thinking, I did all these live streams, we all had very good discussions while this story went on. And then I was okay, I still don't think they'll become playable, because they don't really have any combat prowess still. But a very common occurrence during this story is that different characters bring up several times that we don't know how to fight, which implies, in my opinion, that we will know how to fight. I feel it was brought forward and worded in such a way that that it's true right now, but something is gonna happen. And kind of the final straw that had me all right, this is happening, they are doing something, is the last scene we get with Vivian. She has a premonition, she starts crying, and we can see ourselves, Belle and Wise, falling, Belle or Wise depending on your character, falling down from the sky with what appears to be raven wings, black raven wings. And that is obviously us having awakened something. Maybe we become a raven fire, or some sort of power is gonna awaken in us. At the beginning of the story, I saw them doing two directions of this. Either it's gonna be a power related to our eyes. What they've leaned in kind of heavily on is doing different kind of anime trope style characters and their combat. Miyabi is just done, anime swordsman, really cool, very flashy, very much hits the weeb vibe. And I was are they going down the Naruto route and allowing us to awaken our Mangekyou Sharingans? Or what are they doing here? And if it was eye related, maybe it was something we could even activate through EOS, even if we aren't personally present. As long as we can see a situation, maybe we can also affect it somehow. But me seeing the raven wings is okay, it's gonna be something even more tangible. And I'm guessing these raven wings are gonna be bound to some sort of power that we will get. And I was thinking a little bit how is there any form of connection? Black raven wings, are eyes. They are specialized, they come with some sort of price, but I'm still not sure what the benefit of them are. And the connection I made as a Swede, I just thought about our own Norse mythology, Odin and his ravens. They were kind of his scouts, and he could see everything, and they were his servants. In the same way that we have kind of been watching over any agent that we send into a hollow. Maybe a little bit far-fetched, but that's the connection I made. We'll see how it plays out. But now in like a tangible form, what does this actually mean like for the game? Obviously we don't know until we get official confirmation, but one, I would say either it means that we are gonna be getting like playable Wise and Belle, or two, this is gonna be made to like drive some sort of like new mechanic into the game, very possibly something introduced in the anniversary. And if that is the case, I would almost like, you know, expect it to be something akin to bring a Bagbo into battle, but maybe instead we can like bring a special like Wise or Belle power into battle to like benefit different teams. Maybe almost like a summoner spell if you use League of Legends. And out of these two, which do I think is most likely? I honestly do not know. I would say that I might be leaning into them being, you know, some sort of anniversary unit. I don't think we're gonna get like separate banners for them. Like I don't think they're gonna become banner characters, but they might become the equivalent of like the main characters we do get in Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. And if that's the case, I hope they're more akin to like, you know, Honkai Star Rail, where there's an actual good unit instead of Genshin Impact, where the main character is absolute trash. And if that's the case, I expect them like be fully able to like, you know, be powered up to M6 and whatnot without spending any sort of like real currency. More like something we unlock through story and events and missions, etc. Or there is always, you know, option number 3, that it's just something to drive the story and it won't, you know, have any actual effect on like, you know, combat or like new powers or anything like that. Like it's just gonna be a plot device, although I find that to be highly unlikely. And just the timing of it, the fact that it's kicking, like all of this is like kicking off very close to the anniversary and very close to the 2.0, makes me think even more that like this is something like they've been cooking. We can smell it. They've been cooking. And I do believe that the dish is gonna be served for the anniversary. And as for story beats, one, I don't believe like in the least that Hugo is dead. Had he just like fallen on flat ground, that would have been one thing. But the fact that he fell into a hollow makes me just feel like there's no way in hell. He basically fell into, you know, the magic zone. You see nobody. Hugo is not dead. We're not done with him. And, you know, the fact that we haven't gotten him on the banner yet, they're not gonna give us a dead character on the banner like someone that died the patch previous. Absolutely not. Hugo is still alive and kicking, and just from like a storytelling perspective, I do believe that Vivian's story arc will take us to like this premonition that she has of Wise or Belle is gonna be like the first premonition that actually gets shifted. She has never managed to like switch these premonitions before, so it's been fate off. But now, when it's regarding us, it's gonna be fate on. And I do believe it's gonna be like the first time she managed to like reverse fate. And if we like play into some other themes going on in this story, maybe even by sacrificing her own life, or, you know, with the willingness of sacrificing her own life. Like I'm not sure if she's gonna die, but I do think that she might have to gamble her life in order to save us. And I do think that, you know, the simpy side of her, like because she absolutely worships Phaeton, like I think that might like be used as a mechanic, like, you know, justify it in a story perspective. So yeah, everybody, that's kind of like my thoughts on the story and where they're taking it. And like I gotta say, they've done a phenomenal job. Like I did this story and like, you know, I was paying attention to like every little like detail, or most of the time you do miss some stuff when you're streaming, you're trying to keep up with chat, etc. It really had me hooked. And in so many like other gacha games in particular, like you get to the story and you're like yap. Meanwhile here, like it's interesting. And I also really do like that I don't know where they're taking this. Like I don't know where the story will go. And just to be clear, like this isn't me like having done the story like, you know, 10 times and like, you know, sat and analyzed everything. I've done it once, and this is just like I finished it yesterday, and these are just like my reflections and speculations like here and now. So like I'm sure there's some small details I missed, but like right now this is the theory I'm going with. And if I'm right, I get to brag a little bit, and if I'm wrong, you know, we can make some fun clips and like, you know, I'll laugh about how wrong I was. So let me know down in comments, like do you think this makes sense? Do you have any like other thoughts about it? And would you like to see a playable Wise and Belle? Like as they are right now, I wouldn't be like too bothered. But if we get, you know, a new S-rank unit that continuously gets updated, you know, I think that's good for all players. And hey, Raven Wings, that's kind of cool. Could make for some, you know, interesting moves, interesting powers. So like right now, I just want to let them cook because they've cooked before and became really good. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, and one last thing before we go. A lot of you have already seen this, but as like a 3K celebration, like hitting 3K subs over on the YouTube, I had a very talented artist commissioned to make a Zenless design for us. And I thought it would be very fitting to like have it made of like my favorite faction. You see it in the bottom left corner. Let me enlarge it for you all in maybe several ways. Look at this. This is an official Hako City Sons of Caledon design, and like the guy that did this, Emmanuel, he is absolutely goated. I highly advise you to go check him out. I'll leave a link to his Instagram down in the description. It's just absolutely beautiful, and like the more you look at it, like the more small details you'll see. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So like this is now available on like the Hako City merch store, also linked down in the description, and it's available in like several different designs, whether you want a tank top like I usually wear, or you want like a high quality heavyweight hoodie or high quality heavyweight t-shirt. There's a bunch of options for both men and women, and I've ordered like basically like one of everything, because yeah, this is just awesome. And I've handpicked like the best website on the market. Like it's no, you know, cheap quality like shit like you might get on Redbubble. Like actual top of the line stuff, and anything I bought personally from there has like become my like favorite things to wear, just because of how freaking comfy they are. And what you really want to look for when you're looking for a t-shirt, looking for a tank top, like any sort of cloth, is 100% cotton, and then 2, how heavy is the fabric, because that is basically like the quality of it, and you'd be surprised at the difference. So I'll make sure that this is available on like the finest stuff available, and also sold at a very small profit, because I'd rather use, you know, you people have this, because I just think it's awesome to be able to provide this, and like just you people like having Hako City Caledon design is profit enough. And any profit we do make, I put right back into like making more designs like this. I might already have this same guy working on another design with a little bit of, let's say, bite to it. Wink, wink. And Heya has been super chill about this. Like they are the IP owners, also in Zone Zero. So they give me the go-ahead to sell 500 designs of this, which is a lot. So once we reach 500, that design will be gone forever. So it is a little bit of like a limited run. But you know, my stance on FOMO, so don't let me FOMO you into getting one. And as soon as my own arrives, I'll put them on and wear them for everything, so you can check them out in person. But yeah, enough plugging the Caledon design. I just think that this is so freaking cool, and I can't wait to get some more up and running. But yeah, anyway, peeps, let me know what you think of like my thoughts of the main story patch. I'm sure you have your own reflections, and like I'm dying to find out about them. And if you enjoyed the video and you enjoy Zenless Zone Zero content, maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you click the little bell icon, you will also get notified whenever I post anything new. But until next time, may your coffee be blessed. Hako out.